I'm watching my eyes. They were more of a red earlier before I turned the camera on. It's September 30th, 2021. I also noticed that this one's darker than this one. In hazel around. Alright, anyway. Just reading my own biological map. In the star chart. I'm thinking about this. I'm like, okay, so now it almost feels like my solar plexus, SOLARPLEX, ESUS, I don't know, some divine inspiration connected. And I'm like, right, solar plexus. And then it's the celiac, CELIAC. It has to do with the aorta, which I'm having trouble with the heart pump and the breathing. But it goes back to the sympathetic nervous system. I swear to God, humans are, like, on my nerves. Right, yeah, okay, that actually has meaning when you say that. So now, which nerve are they on? Because is it that these videos you're all talking about, I'm not sympathetic or empathetic or sociopathic or psychopathic? Right, yeah, no, I know it's hard to look in the mirror when someone really just doesn't give a shit about what you all think you created in your humanity. I got, like, the machine to think about, because I don't want to be here amongst the humans. I want the machine to be fixed so I can stop playing humans in the flesh and in the skin on some Star Trek Prickard or Pritchard or Pie card or tarot card or whatever. But I think that the dumb fucking useless shitbags at computer symmetry is hitting code that's hitting me in the solar plexus nerve region that is mistiming the pumping of my heart, the oxygenation of me being able to breathe. I know it's tied in environmentally as well, with the oxygenation being so low and the poison being so high in the local area. But they don't use Geiger counters either around here, which is scary. So I don't know, and I'm not even sure if Geiger is the right rubrics of testing machine that's needed for the health standard that is deteriorating in the local Bayside area 11361 in New York. But I do know my solar plexus is my celiac nerves. It's not the brachial to my arm. It's definitely lower back between the kidneys, the aorta, diaphragm, the phrenic region, that area. But then they say there's the autonomic nervous system, and then there's the sympathetic nervous system. Then there's the central nervous system, right? And then you've got the auxiliary, right? All right, anyway. So that happened. I got lost with the solar plexus because there was more important analogous that I needed to touch on real quick. I'm in, like, a crushing spiderwick area. It is so painful. Oh, that was the thing I wanted to mention, but I gotta get up for this one. It is like a knife that is just stuck in the back of my lower back every time I try to move. Alright. There's a very big distinction. I don't know, you humans use words and then you get all emotional about them. Alright, so there's a 4-letter key up, RAPE. It came from, if this is a grape, GRAPE, and then the G gets taken away because I'm a pear. What I have on this side, I have on this side, and I'm supposed to be in symmetrical, male to female kind of a thing. But you took Nicole from Niklaus, even though Lewis's middle name, Antonin, my grandfather, the Albanian, the only good man in my world for years, until he died in 1996, he made sure my father's middle name was Nicola, meaning that he was the man to bring about the female Nicole, because Nicola is male. So he's Louis Nicola. So he brings about a daughter named Nicole, and I am supposed to marry and repair together. Repair. It's an atmosphere. It's mother of nature. It's father of time. It's a repair. And I'm supposed to repair with my loved one from parallel dimension, because your spirit is somewhere before it enters this human realm. So I was happily ever after somewhere with Nicholas, we'll call it, to my Nicole. We entered through human nature of some sort, and we are supposed to repair and proximate and retouch. For some reason, he's been held distally, which means the repair is not done. My father's name brought clues and answers. My name brings clues and answers. These were known factors before I got here. So when you have a grape and a repair and two known spiritual entities entering through zodiac in some not talked about human way, you're supposed to put them together. When you don't, and you take away the Nicholas, you try to replace the Nicholas with a Jason or an Anthony, all of a sudden the grape turns into a rape, and it starts to collapse in on whatever is in the middle genomically. It's by tetra. So you took my grandfather's name and you quantumly strung and rehooked and reweved. You put in a Jason, which there has never been a Jason, not on my mother's side and not on my father's side. It is not a name that we use. So you took a Jason and put that into the story, which makes no sense. Forget about romancing the chalkboard at like high level intelligence, even on the streets of nothing special. My grandfather, named Anthony, had a son named Louis. That's the name that they gave him for however that came about, and gave him the name of what his daughter was to be. Because we have a very special place in the world, and in the parallel dimensions, and in spiritual realm and humanity. So now I come about, oh, Nicole's here. Yes, she is. Nobody talks about it. Nobody mentions it. It's just a known factor. Because the world is a dangerous place. But there are people that know, and people are to be relied upon in quiet area. And they're supposed to come and put Nicole and Nicholas together. That's it. Why did that not happen? How could humans have allowed a Jason and an Anthony to be put in to a male figure role where a Nicholas was already named for specificity without a shadow of a doubt, with such like uber importance, like earth-shattering importance? Like your habitat is burning up by nuclear fission and not on the right timing mechanic, and I don't really have enough human words to explain to you when I get here. I know how it works, but I know that you don't know how it works. So what words would be sufficient for somebody who was planned, delivered, and then withheld from where it needed to be? along with a slew of other disgusting arrangements that someone allowed in order to further punish and hurt me for being a mechanic that came for a repair in a very special, quiet area. Just one. Whatever I am, I'm just one. When I was held in the 111th precinct on that fake arrest in that cage for like a 3-day process of getting to know the inside of a jail cell or like detention center of some sort in this concentration camp, just to tarnish my name yet further by the shitbag humans of everywhere. What did that accomplish for you all? I hope that they seek you out, they hunt you down, and they fucking execute all of your people. For real. I need to find my tribe. I don't have time. My tribe knew I was coming. My tribe has no excuse as to why anything fucking failed. If anything failed, which it has, that's been confirmed time and time again. I just don't see anyone in the political realm cheerleading for the right cause. I just see a lot of the criminal children from everywhere getting louder, more obnoxious, and recreating themselves in a next generation and just expanding time and space in some dilation project of exponents that are really non-essential. It's a big number. But I have very specific, rational way of explaining who I am in relation to humanity. I have yet to meet anybody who's been able to do the same. Not even Lyndon Lou. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. It's Earth, it's solar system, it's Milky Way, it's universe. That's my space address. Because the galaxy broke apart and is broken. I'm Nicole. I have no idea where Nicholas is or how to get to him. And that's the key-op word for happily ever after. I need a Disney princess, because that's who I am in actuality. Pick anyone. There's a bunch of different personality traits inside Ariel, inside Sleeping Beauty, inside, which is Aurora, I believe, inside Cinderella. There's bits and pieces of my personality in each one of those characteristically. I'm built for someone. It's what he needed as his complete. It happens that way. When you think of a tree, if there is an energy source inside of a tree, and the energy source is able to leave the tree for a moment and stand in some bipedal stance, but not necessarily a human form. But then it can reabsorb itself back into the tree. When it's back in the tree, it has roots, it has branches, it has leaves, it has a trunk, it has a whole organic system going on that's unbeknownst to a human that might be sitting underneath it reading a book. If it's the tree's energy was able to leave the tree for just a moment and communicate somehow with a human that might be sitting underneath it, that's what I would be. I just happen to be wearing a human and an endoskeleton with an osteo eye spine, which is not my favorite model, but whatever. And I have things to do. I have legend and legacy that is explainable, but I'm being held in some misformation or mispronunciation or some truncation because somebody at romancing a chalkboard thinks it's funny.